Welcome to UA Live. I'm Lilia.
And I'm Lily. Coming up, we look at UACA Memorial Day Run, City Council, and more.
Bear Connections was one of the new things UAHS tried this year. The idea of Bear Connections was to help students and teachers bond while playing games and other fun activities.
I took a look at how Bear Connections ran this year.
Hi, I'm Julie Heiner, and I'm a math teacher at the high school, and I'm also the director of Bear Connection. And Bear Connection is time for us to get away from academics and to gather with people we may not know so that we make connections, so we have more than just our social group or just our classes, but we begin to know more people in the building, and so everyone feels a part of our community here.
So my Bear Connections teacher is Mrs. McCubbin. It's not my favorite part of the day, but it's fun to have that break on Fridays, and classes are a little shorter, so that's nice.
My name's Nick Sawyer. I like Bear Connection because it gives you kind of a little break from school and kind of talk with all kinds of people throughout the school, different grade levels. And my favorite activity is probably playing either basketball, like knockout, or dodgeball. So yeah.
Okay, my name is Miss P. I teach freshmen here at the high school. I really love Bear Connections. I think it's a great opportunity for students to kind of get to know each other, meet new people. And my favorite activity that we've done together is collaborate with other Bear Connections teachers like Miss Eisman, Mr. Wilson, Miss Hedgedis, and play games in the field house.
Hi, my name is Cole Griffith. I like Bear Connection, and my favorite thing about Bear Connection is playing basketball. And my favorite thing is hang out with my friends, and we do all fun activities like playing games, drawing pictures, and all stuff of cool stuff. And yeah.
They're like, I don't know, a fourth of an inch maybe.
This has been Lily Webb reporting for the WARL.
Next year's staff is looking at making Bear Connections a little different. Students will have more time in some of their classes while Bear Connections rotates through every period each week.
Every year, the senior class takes Capstone, a project-based class which is needed to graduate. This class is not only offered during the school year, but also over the summer.
Taking summer capstone is an opportunity to get done early and connect more one-on-one with the teachers. You can sign up at the end of every year when you schedule classes.
And now to Alexa and Nathan with sports.
The Upper Arlington softball Bears had a great run in the district tournament. They defeated Northland 17-0 on Monday, May 9th. They faced Berlin Thursday, May 12th, winning with the score of 5-4. They fell short to Gahanna-Lincoln in the district semifinals Tuesday, May 17th. The final score was 0-1. Great season, Bears.
The Upper Arlington boys lacrosse team won on May 16th against 16th seed Gahanna-Lincoln, 17-3. The boys are pursuing a 17th state championship and their first since 2016. The Bears took on Hilliard Darby on Thursday, May 19th, winning 19-4. On May 24th, boys lacrosse won 16-3 against Kilbourne. They played Bradley on Friday, May 28th.
Girls lacrosse played their first tournament game on May 16th against Hilliard Bradley. UA won 20-0. They played Gahanna-Lincoln on May 20th, winning 19-7. On May 23rd, UA won against Darby 20-4. On May 25th, girls lacrosse won the regional final 17-7 against Kaufman. Their next game is Tuesday, May 31st.
Throughout sports seasons, injured players would visit the new training room. Vivian Lullis takes a look at the new facility.
Oh, hello, Vivian. Welcome to the athletic training room here at Upper Arlington High School. Would you like a tour? So, this is our physician exam room. So anytime a kid needs to see the doc because they've fallen down and bumped themselves, this is where they come. It's kind of nice. This is what we call HIPAA compliant. So healthcare information remains private once they come in here and see the physician. It's very nice, I'm not gonna lie. And we're gonna go back here to hydrotherapy. This is our training room. The main part, of course. Here you got your taping tables. Here you got your treatment tables. These are all new, very nice. Here we got certain athletes. This is where the hydrotherapy is. I ain't gonna lie, these things are really nice. The kids take advantage of them. This one right now is set at 103 degrees. This one's set at 45 degrees. Anything that creates moisture is in this room. So like hot packs, whirlpools, hose to fill up coolers in. Anything wet is in this room. I ain't gonna lie, this room right here is very unique for a high school, but also very, very nice. Very nice. So this is where everybody comes. We try to be welcoming for everyone. You know, we get a lot of kids, they get banged up. They come into this nice, gorgeous facility. I'm not gonna lie, as a high school, you ain't gonna find anything better than this. So thank you, Upper Arlingtonites.
This has been Viv Lawless reporting for the WARL.
Thanks, Vivian.
And now to Izzy and Kate with Community News.
The UACA Memorial Day Run is on May 30th at 8 a.m. to noon. It's a 5-mile course race through the streets of UA for all runners. There's also a 1-mile run which is open to adults and children. The run impacts the areas west of Reed Road, between Fishinger Road to the south and McCoy Road to the north.
The Upper Arlington City Council voted 6-1 Monday, May 16th to ban the use of most fireworks in the city. However, the ordinance will allow party poppers, sparklers, and smoke devices on private property. The law will officially take effect on July 1st.
May 15th to June 15th is National Tourette's Awareness Month. I took a look at a UAHS student who has been diagnosed with Tourette's syndrome.
Gracie Miller, Jr. at Upper Arlington, shares her story about Tourette's syndrome.
Tourette's syndrome is a neurological disorder, meaning it's a brain disorder characterized by involuntary movements and noises called tics. So people who have this disorder make certain movements and noises with their bodies that they cannot control. I was diagnosed at the age of 7. The first tic I ever made was me punching my stomach, and my parents obviously noticed this and noticed something wasn't right. So I saw my neurologist, who I've known for the past couple years of my life, who has changed my life in multiple ways. So tics come in a variety of ways. There are motor tics, which are more so like movements associated with your body, and then vocal tics, which are like noises that individuals with Tourette's make. And then those categorize into like complex and then simple tics. So some like simple motor tics that I have are sometimes like I might like blink my eyes over and over again. A simple like vocal tic I have is sometimes I will make like a hiccuping noise. And then a more like complex tic can be like me punching myself in the stomach, or like violent like head jerking and like stuff like that. It does affect my day-to-day life, especially during school. Sometimes I can get really stressed out, and stress and anxiety can like increase the frequency or intensity of a tic. And so like sitting in class can even like be difficult like that, and sometimes like I need to leave, but it can be hard to do that, you know? Or like with driving, which I don't have my license, but like that stuff can be difficult too. Or even like when I was riding a bike when I was younger, like just like sometimes the simple little things where it took me like a little bit longer to like adapt to, I guess. I became a youth ambassador for the Tourette Association of America when it was my freshman year, and Tourette's has always been something I've been like, I guess like ashamed about until like my upcoming 8th grade year, where I more so like spoke out about it. And since then I've been very passionate about like speaking out about it and advocating for it, making sure like the stereotypes, you know, are like not really associated with Tourette syndrome. But so I came across like the Tourette Association of America, and they had a program where kids like my age can apply to basically be like, I don't want to say like national, I guess like advocator for like America, and just like a role model for all other like kids like going through this disorder and having to like, I guess, feel like they're alone and just like know that they're not, because for so long I didn't understand what it was. And I just kind of felt alone and different.
Growing up with a sister who had Tourette's, at first, I guess it was kind of like, I always noticed it a lot, and I was like confused at first until my parents finally explained to me what it really was. And it also taught me like, educated me more about like what Tourette's was and everything into it. But now it's like, I don't really notice it, and it's just like another part of her.
When I was younger, it was something my family, like, nor did I really understand, like, what exactly was going on. So for a couple years, it was something really hard to live with, because it was something my parents didn't know how to, like, deal with themselves or help me with, which I think was really hard for them. Because of Tourette's, But there obviously has been like certain restrictions or like limitations on certain things that like took longer for me to do than others. So like with tics, the intensity or like frequency of them can like increase due to like stress and anxiety. So sometimes like when I do my homework, like it would take me longer to do my homework just like because I was stressed, and my tics would just get worse because of that. So when I was in 8th grade, I gave a presentation to my 8th grade class basically advocating for Tourette syndrome and sharing my personal story. Because at the time, I thought there was a big misconception around the disorder, and I basically just wanted people to be rightfully educated about it.
When I was around 4 years old, I would start to make certain movements with my body that I felt as if I couldn't control on my own. And that day, I was diagnosed with a disorder called Tourette syndrome, also known as a chronic tic disorder.
People were definitely more educated about the disorder, which I really appreciated, and like I guess just like the amount of support I received after I gave the presentation.
During these days, they spread awareness and education throughout about Tourette's.
The Peach Truck is back delivering all around the U.S. They will be located at several locations in Ohio, with the closest being Wheelan's Market and the Hilliard Rome Commons on June 26th, 24th, and August 6th. Now let's hand it to Claire and Max with Lifestyle.
Columbus Taco Fest took place Saturday, May 14th and Sunday, May 15th at Genoa Park. This year, dozens of food trucks attend the festival. The weekend consisted of lots of tacos, drinks, and live music.
The Upper Arlington UAAPI Committee is celebrating May's Asian American and Pacific Islander Heritage Month. In honor of this, UA's International Food Bar featured a noodle bowl, banh mi sandwiches, and Korean fried chicken for 2 days.
From Tuesday, May 17th to Friday, May 20th, the committee is also welcoming students to help create an interactive art piece, as well as a goodie bag fundraiser featuring sweet treats, places to learn about AAPI culture, and bracelets.
The city of Upper Arlington is building a memorial plaza honoring Pleasant Richford right next to the high school. Max decided to learn more about this project.
The City of Upper Arlington and Upper Arlington City Schools has partnered to fund and build a plaza to honor former slave and UA resident Pleasant Litchford. Litchford was freed from slavery and moved to Upper Arlington in 1828, where he began working as a blacksmith. Due to the success of his career, he began purchasing land, some of which include the land Tremont, Northam Park, St. Agatha, and the Upper Arlington High School currently sit on. I spoke to Diane Runyon, co-author of the book Secrets Under the Parking Lot, The True Story of Upper Arlington, Ohio, and the History of Prairie Township in the 19th Century, to learn more about the history of Pleasant Litchford and his ties to Upper Arlington.
Well, this is a very fascinating story, which turned out to just start with a question between two friends at the MCL cafeteria. And what happened was I was the one to find the data, and then the story started to unfold. And it took a year and a half to do this, and it was constantly unfolding during a period of time. And then as it was taking shape, we were finding that he had much more to do with Upper Arlington and the state of Indiana, even with the Underground Railroad and education for the Black community. And so had so much research. And as a researcher, I couldn't put it in my garage. It had nothing to do with my family history, but it was such an important part of Upper Arlington's history that no one ever talked about or even knew about, because it's all original history. So instead of leaving it in a box, I threw in some bucks and wrote the book and published it myself. And what was interesting also, which we didn't really mention much in the book, is two of Pleasant Litchford's great-grandchildren. They could have been grandchildren, great-grandchildren, 1911. His grandson was the first Black to graduate from Ohio State University in law school, and his granddaughter, the year after, with a teaching degree from Ohio State University, first Black at Ohio State. So that was pretty interesting. So Ohio State got all involved in that too.
Litchford used some of his land to build a cemetery for Black residents. However, it was paved under the parking lot for the old Upper Arlington High School when it was constructed in 1956.
My good friend and colleague, Kim Shoemaker-Starr, she's a headstone restoration specialist. So we deal with the dead all the time. And she lived across the street from there, and there were headstones at that point, but it was all neglected and grown up and things of that sort. And none of the headstones that were there in 1955, we don't know what happened to any of them, except for one. And one of them was Reverend Ezekiel Fields, and one of his family members took his headstone and stored it in his garage, which is now in a memory garden at Second Baptist Church. We don't embrace the history we have and understand why it happened here's the big point. It has to be in the context in which people lived. Because a lot of people come back and ask me, well, why did this happen? But they're looking at it in a 2020 lens. And this was 60 years ago or more. And the mores of society were very different then.
Next, I asked about her thoughts on the new plaza being built.
We're thrilled about the plaza situation. We had first started wanting way back, like 6 years ago, a petition to have Northern Park's name changed. But this seemed to turn out like things do in life. They turn out for a reason. And there was some reason roadblocks were falling in our spot. Just waiting for the time for someone to step up and give the money and care to the project, and which is a lot of money, $300,000 to build this. But what makes it nice is, and much better than the Northern Park situation is, he was all about education and built the colored school on the Northern Park property, but it's in front of the school, which is also on his property. So that is really a wonderful thing. We've made a lot of headway from the time Pleasant Litchford first started buying his land, which was for a freed slave, was unbelievable. And by the Civil War, when all of this was going on, he still was amazing. The largest Black landowner, one of the largest Black landowners in that area. Change is hard, and it takes centuries sometimes to make it happen to be where it's equitable.
Litchford died at the age of 89 in 1879, and his final resting place is the Union Cemetery in Columbus, Ohio. However, his memory will continue to live on through the new plaza built to honor his legacy. This is Max DeWick reporting for the WARL.
Check out the construction for the plaza off of Brandon Road.
Now let's toss it back to Maine.
On May 7th, a freshman named Drew Collin threw out the first pitch at the Cleveland Guardians game for Rally Cap's hearing loss awareness day.
Drew was born with profound hearing loss and had a bilateral implantation of cochlear implants when he was 8 months old.
He is now a starter pitcher on the freshman baseball team.
Coming up in the next show, we look at summer jobs, new opportunities, baseball, and more.
Hope you have a great summer, Bears.
And we'll see you next year.
Welcome to UA Live. I'm Jake.
And I'm Marin. Coming up on the show, we look at spring sports, community pools, service hour opportunities, and the end of the school year updates.
Second semester exams begin for students at Upper Arlington High School Friday, May 27th, and will continue after the 3-day weekend, Thursday, the 31st, and Wednesday, June 1st. These will conclude the 2021 to 2022 school year.
Graduation takes place Sunday, May 29th at the Schottenstein Center. The ceremony begins at 9:30 a.m. as the seniors begin to look back on their past experiences as high school students. Kennedy Beebe asked seniors for their advice to the underclassmen.
After 4 years of high school in 2 buildings, the class of 2022 is getting ready to graduate on May 29th. As they begin to look back on their high school careers, I look to get advice for underclassmen on how they can make the most of their high school experience.
Work hard, play hard.
Stay ahead of your schoolwork and take classes you enjoy.
My advice for underclassmen is to do your assignments and not procrastinate.
Everyone make sure just to live in the moment, don't go too far ahead, don't overthink it, and just take your time, especially with classes and interactions with other people and your friendships, and then make sure you take some sort of personal finance. It's really, really helpful, and just try your best.
Underclassmen, you guys cannot stand in the middle of the hallway. Just keep going, your life will be great. You won't get shoved or pushed.
Eat a lot of food so you can bulk up.
My advice is that even if you have the slightest interest in art or drawing, take an art class immediately.
My advice for an underclassman would be pay attention in class.
My advice for underclassmen is to get a routine for homework and assignments so you don't get overwhelmed and stressed out.
Be a self-advocate. If you're struggling and you need help, ask a question. Or if you need more time on an assignment, make sure you speak up.
Make friends with everyone. That'll help you in the future. I would recommend to get all your gen eds out of the way, so you can have more freedom in your schedule. And also for incoming seniors, write your college essay over the summer. It relieves a lot of stress.
Some advice I have for underclassmen is just to enjoy every moment and cherish it all because it's going to go by really fast.
Thanks, Kennedy.
And now to Lily and Maxwell with sports.
May 19th, the girls and boys track team competed in district prelims. Joey Blank, Theo Constantinides, Max Gillum, and Caden Woods broke the 2007 4x200 record of 1 minute 31.11 seconds and setting a new record with the time of 1 minute 30.39 seconds. 13 athletes are moving on from district finals and will be competing in regional prelims May 25th, and finals are May 27th. Good luck, Bears.
The boys baseball team played their first tournament game on May 18th against the 26th seed Reynoldsburg, in which Upper Arlington won 5-0, after it being postponed due to rain, in which it was resumed on May 19th. The Bears played Lancaster in the district semifinals on May 24th and lost with a score of 2-0.
This year, the new baseball field was a great addition to our school. Maxwell Lane reports on the new field while it was under construction earlier this year.
The Upper Arlington Golden Bears baseball team and softball team are utilizing the Tremont facilities temporarily for practicing and scrimmaging. Although the baseball field and softball field located at Tremont are great quality, the coaches, players, and spectators are ready for the new fields. To gain more knowledge and insight on the development of the practice fields, I spoke with Coach Rose, the freshman baseball assistant coach, and asked him a few questions. First, I asked what new features will be included in the developing practice fields.
The new baseball field will be a turf field that will have turf on the infield and up the foul lines. There will be a clubhouse and a concession stands that will be shared between the softball field and the baseball field.
Next, I asked, when will the new fields be finished?
The varsity team will be playing there this spring, is the hope.
Last question I asked was, what are the benefits of having a turf field?
In Ohio, especially in the spring, there's a lot of rain. So the turf field will allow for less rainouts, less lost days of practice, and even a chance to get on the field earlier in the preseason to be able to practice outside.
While researching for information on the developing practice fields, I found a blueprint of what the practice fields and concession stand will look like in the future. In the top right are the softball and baseball fields, including the clubhouse in the middle and concession stands below that. If you are seeking more information, I encourage you to go to Upper Arlington Golden Bears website at goldenbearbaseball.com.
Thanks, Maxwell.
And now to Harry and Natalie with community news.
The pools are hoping to be up and running as soon as possible and are the perfect place to bring your friends and family.
The Upper Arlington City Pools offers season passes, both residential and non-residential. Passes can be used at all 3 pool facilities, Devon, Reed Road, and Tremont. The cost of passes depends on family size, and daily admission fees are also available. You can check out the City of Upper Arlington website for pricing information.
With summer around the corner, Grader's Ice Cream is the perfect place to get a cool treat. Here's a behind the scenes of Grader's employee Izzy Del Tasto making a milkshake.
Thanks, Izzy.
This summer will also be the perfect opportunity to complete service hours. UAHS gives awards in 2 categories with the following requirements. Freshmen and sophomores are eligible for the Teen President's Volunteer Service Gold Award with 100+ hours of service, and juniors and seniors are eligible for the Young Adult President's Volunteer Service Gold Award with 250+ hours of service.
Jake takes a look at possible volunteer opportunities.
My mom and me volunteer through a volunteer program named Besa, and we volunteer normally for people who are not so lucky and live on the streets.
Well, I started my career as a public defender because I wanted to help people, and when I changed careers, I decided I could still help people through different ways.
My mom's been volunteering through the volunteer program Besa for years now. She's very passionate about the volunteer work she does.
I decided I have the time to help others in the community as well, and I just want to be able to give back. So I decided to volunteer at different places now.
She'll try to do whatever she can. She does extra stuff on the side besides volunteering through the program. And the most recent thing we volunteered for, we were passing out bus passes to homeless people, and we are going back to give blankets and hand warmers to them.
I volunteer through an organization called Besa, but they coordinate with different organizations out in the community. So you can volunteer from everything from the dog shelter to the food pantry at different days and times. So they really have a lot of ways that you can work in the community that's convenient for you to help others. Probably my favorite project was, there's probably a couple. I loved working at the bus brigade, which was a recent one that we ended up cleaning bus shelters and donating bus passes to those low-income people and homeless people throughout the community, and passed out healthy snacks and water. And that was a really fun one because it was something that I could participate in with my family. And then another favorite one I like is working at the dog shelter. I loved the most recent experience I had. I was able to make some dog treats and then also walk the dogs a couple of times. Feels wonderful. It feels good to give back. I feel like we're so fortunate with what we have, so anything I can do to help others in the community is always makes me feel good. I've done other things with elderly folks who had dementia, where we just sat and kept them company and tried to have conversations with them. I've worked in places where they organize clothes for people entering back into the workforce. It just gives you an opportunity to meet a lot of different people from all walks of life too. So it's a really great experience.
Thanks, Jake.
Now let's toss it back to Maine with Charlotte.
New pavement has been put down on the UAHS parking lot. There will be 350 student spots that will be given to the incoming seniors who previously parked in the streets of nearby neighborhoods. Students had a meeting about the parking lot lottery on Tuesday, May 24th during both lunch periods. The lottery will be only for seniors and will use a point system. If you carpool bringing other students to the school, this will increase your number of points and the likelihood of earning a parking spot. An announcement will be published on Canvas in the next week for juniors with more information. Have a great summer, Bears, and see you next year.
Welcome to UA Live. I'm Catherine.
And I'm Taryn. Coming up, we look at the Environmental Club, the Marquee Awards, the crew team season, and the incoming parking lot.
Our environmental club works towards a safer and healthier community by protecting the environment.
Alexa takes a closer look.
The goals of the Environmental Club are basically, well, there's several. One is to try to find ways to do activities to benefit the environment, but it's also a place where students can come and talk about environmental concerns and try to make our school a more sustainable place.
So currently, as far as I know, the program, it's just kind of, it ignores most of the recycling. Like, we don't have that many cans, so people can still throw things that should be recycled into the trash can. And at some point, I believe that they weren't actually recycling the recycling, so that's not very good.
Well, we're trying to implement, we're starting small, but we're trying to implement recycling during lunch periods and throughout study hall on Golden Bear Boulevard. And if we could cut down on the amount of trash going to the landfill, that helps with the sustainability, looking through the lens of our school, but then also with the bigger picture with saving space in the landfill and helping out our community.
So currently, we are trying to add more bins. We have people designing like signs to put over some of the pre-existing bins so people know what to recycle. And then we also have been given funds to order more recycling bins, so hopefully we can increase the amount of recycling that we have here at Upper Arlington High School. We need people to take the recycling out because there's not that many janitors, so we have to like have like a schedule so that people can take the recycling out. And obviously then there's the fact that people might not actually recycle things in the recycling. So yeah, I would say those are our two biggest issues. I just think that, I mean, if anything, people should just be more cognizant of what's going on in the planet and making small steps to change the way, or to slow down global warming.
This has been Alexa Larry reporting for the WARL.
Thanks, Alexa.
And now to Sydney and Kirsten with sports.
The Upper Arlington crew team had its third and final regatta of the 2022 spring season on the weekend of May 14th at the Midwest Scholastic Championship.
The women's varsity pairs took second place and fourth place, while the novice 8 took the Midwest Championship title.
Sam Kareen put together a guide on how a race works at a regatta.
Last weekend, I traveled with my crew team to the Midwest Scholastic Championships regatta, and here's what happens at a typical regatta. First, we take the boats off the trailer and put the riggers, or the things that hold the oars, on the boats. Then we take the boat off the trailer and walk it to the dock. Then, regatta officials check our boats for safety reasons. They are checking our shoes to make sure that we are safe in the case that we capsize and everyone has to get out of the boat. Then, they give us our bow number. The bow number is the order in which you do a time trial, or it can be the lane you race in. For example, H6. H is the race letter, and 6 is the lane. This is our bow number. It's bow number 307. Now, it's time to launch. Launching from the dock can be very stressful. It has to be as fast as possible because there are many other boats waiting. We warm up on our way to the start line. This is what the start line looked like at the previous regatta Upper Arlington went to, in Oak Ridge, Tennessee. It was called the Dogwood Invitationals Regatta. Of course, there's the actual racing. In this race, Upper Arlington, the black boat, comes second in their heat with, from left to right, Kata Watson as coxswain, Ethan Dunlap, Jacob Schomer, Calvin Radlinsky, and Alexander Wilkins as stroke seat. In the end, seniors Annalise Johani and Maya Starwalker won second place in the pair race. Also, the novice boys 8 boat won first place and were crowned the Midwest Scholastic champions for their race. With Alvaro Gonzalez Adams as coxswain, they finished out their freshman year strong.
Thanks, Sam, for the information. If you are interested in crew and are an incoming 7th, 8th, or 9th grader, you can sign up for the Upper Arlington Learn to Row program.
There are 3 sessions during June and July, and you do not need to attend UA schools to sign up. You can find information on how to sign up on uacrew.org.
Boys volleyball started tournament play with a win against Newark, 3-0 on Friday, May 20th. They fell to Thomas Worthington Saturday, May 21st with a final score of 3-1. Great fight and good season, Bears.
Ethan Samora will be representing the boys tennis team at individual states May 27th after placing second at districts. He will be competing against Avon High School to secure a spot in the final 8. Good luck, Ethan.
And now to Sam and Eric with community news.
As the school year comes to an end, the construction around this school is finally wrapping up.
If weather cooperates, the parking lots are planned to be completely done by the end of the school year.
This will allow 350 student spots for the next school year.
Catherine takes a look at the current parking situation.
As we look at parking later in the school year, I asked students if they think parking has gotten better or worse.
I would say parking has definitely gotten worse. Over time, more people have taken away like streets you can go on and different sides, and more sophomores are getting their license, so you get pushed further back the later you come.
I think parking has gotten better because it's mostly the same people parking on Mount Holyoke. That's where I park. So you don't have to go as early because you're not really fighting for spots.
I think that it's getting better because the weather's getting warmer, so people don't feel the need to get here as early because they don't have to walk in the cold, but it depends on the day.
The parking lots are coming along as we head into the spring season. I talked to Mr. Potts on some updates.
So we are hoping that the south lot here, right at the end of the building, is open by the end of April, beginning of May timeframe. And then the other lot that is located off of Mount Holyoke, we're hoping that is like a mid-May timeframe. I think if you talk to any student, it's been pretty impactful. We knew coming into it, it would be a long year with parking. I think the students have been great handling parking throughout the neighborhoods and have been respectful of our neighbors. But I think overall, it's gone about as good as it can go, but we know it hasn't been easy for both students and staff.
There's progress on the parking lots day by day, and hopefully at the end of April, beginning of May, there will be spots open for students, staff, and the public. This is Catherine Charles reporting for the WARL.
The cast of 42nd Street participated in the 2022 Kappa Marquee Awards on May 10th. The winners of all categories were announced following the performance.
Upper Arlington walked away with a total of 3 awards. Best Actress in Supporting Role, K.K. Murphy. Outstanding Technical Execution, Edith LeBlanc. Best Musical Production, 42nd Street.
And the Kappa Marquee Award for Best Musical Production goes to Upper Arlington High School. Goes to Upper Arlington High School.
Goes to K.K. Murphy.
This year, Upper Arlington and 17 other high schools attended the Marquee Awards, which celebrates and supports high school musical theater education throughout Central Ohio. The event included awards, performances, and selections from shows nominated for Best Musical. In the 11 categories for awards, UA held 9 nominations and won 3, including Best Musical, Edith LeBlanc for Outstanding Technical Execution, and K.K. Murphy for Best Supporting Actress. K.K. gives her thoughts on her win in the event. I'm so excited. I honestly did not expect to win. This is our first time going to the Marquee Awards, and we were up against 17 other schools, and we won Best Musical. I think that this is really going to propel our program and probably get a lot more revenue for next year, as well as strengthen our reputation. I am so incredibly grateful for Kappa, the Marquee Awards, and Upper Arlington Vocal Music. This has been Claire Shetler reporting for the WARL.
The Upper Arlington Farmers Market will return to the Tremont Pool parking lot on May 18th.
It is expected to feature nearly 30 vendors each week. The market will be held from 4 to 7 p.m. on Wednesdays through October 26th.
Now let's toss it to Maine.
The Memorial Tournament is a PGA Tour golf tournament founded in 1976 by former Golden Bear Jack Nicklaus.
The 2022 Memorial Tournament is scheduled for May 30th to June 5th at the world-renowned Murfield Village Golf Club in Dublin, Ohio.
The Upper Arlington Cultural Arts Division has announced the lineup for the 2022 Music in the Park Summer Concert Series.
Concerts are scheduled every Thursday from June 9th to July 21st, 7 to 8:30 p.m.
All concerts are free, and attendees are invited to bring lawn chairs or blankets. Food trucks will be on site at all performances.
Have a great summer, Bears. See you next year.